Hello everyone, welcome to the Master. So in this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to make this lovely top I'm putting on. Okay, this was what I wanted. I saw it on Pinterest while scrolling, so I decided to recreate it. So if this sounds like what you're interested in learning, please stay tuned and watch till the end. Definitely you're going to recreate this beautiful top. So without wasting much time, let's move into the pattern job. To start, I first of all take my straight horizontal line which serves as my starting point. Then I'll take all my vertical measurements. That's I'll take from my chest to my bust point, the starting point to my bust point which is 9. Then I'll take my under bust which is 13. My under bust is 13, but I usually add half inch to it. So I'm taking 13 and a half. Then the full length of the top that I want it to be 20, both the hemming allowance and everything 20. So I'm going to be taking 20 here. So I'll connect everything together. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take my neck measurement. My neck is going to use neck length of 2.5 because I don't want it to be wide. So rather I'll use 3, neck length of 3, then depth of 2.5. So using my curve, I'll connect it. I'll try and make a perfect curve and connect it. Okay, this way. I'll connect it. Then then so my boss is 34, 34 divided by from this place. I'm going to take my shoulder measurement divided by 2. So my shoulder is 14 divided by 2 will give me 7. So this is 7. So from this 7 that I've marked, I'm going to come down by 1 inch from my shoulder slant. This is it. So from this 1 inch now, I'm going to connect it back to the shoulder. So the next thing now is to get my armhole depth. To get your armhole depth, you're going to do your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. So from this point, I'm going to come down. When I did my own gave me 7. So I'm going to, from this point, I'm going to come down by 7. So placing my ruler here, placing my tape rule here, at this point that I came down by 1 inch, I'm going to take my 7. I'm going to take my 7. So this is 7 here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it here and mark so that my line will be straight. Okay. So this is it, 7. This is it here. Please make sure that your own is straight. This is it, 7. So I'm going to connect using my meter rule. I'm going to connect this point to this point. Okay. So this is it. So I'm going to just draw a horizontal line all together. And this new line, this new horizontal line that I have now set as my chest line. Yes, my chest line. So I'm going to label this is my chest line, this is my bust point, this is my under bust, my UB, this is my desired length or full length rather. So that is it. So to get my armhole curve, first thing you have to do is from this point you come down by half of it. Mine is 7, so half of 7 will give me 3.5. So placing your ruler at this mark 3.5, you go inside by half inch. Yes, half inch to get a perfect armhole. So using this, I'm going to first connect this point, this point. Please adjust your own and make it to be nice. This point, yes, to here first. So where I went in by half inch, like this. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'll take my round bust divided by 4. My round bust is my bust is 34. 34 divided by 4 give me 85. So this is my 85. So you go to your chest line and still mark your 85, 8.5. So this is it. This is my 8.5. So after connecting from here to the half inch I came into, I'll now connect from this half inch I came into to this 8.5 that I've marked. So you also try to place it to be fine. So this is it. I'm going to use okay, right, right, okay. So this is it. So this is it. This is my hook up. So now from there, this is my 8.5. Right. So now I'm going to take is my underdog. My underdog is 29, 29 divided by 725. So this is my 725. Then coming down to this place, coming down to my full length top, I'm going to take my bust, my hip divided by 4. My hip is 36 divided by 4 will give me 9. So this is it. So for now, we'll leave everything. I want to put that normal that. I'm going to take my manufacturing mine is 3.5. The first is 3.5. So I'm not going to 3.5 here. Then coming down to okay, I will extend the chest line. I will extend the chest line. Extend the chest line. So here also on mark 3.5 and here also 3.5. Then we do this part going towards the elbow. I'm going to do 1 to 5 and coming down to this place I'm going to do half inch. Also repeat it here. 1 to 5, half inch. Okay, so take it down. Take it down. So this first point I'm going to come down by half inch. Go by half inch like here. Come down by half inch and go up by half inch. So what I'm going to do Using my cover, I'm going to connect this to this part. Let's connect this to this part. Okay, connect it to this part and do the same thing for this part. Connect it to this part. So both tighten. I'm not doing much. Just tighten it. What I'm doing is I'm getting just half inch here and half inch. Now just connect. I carefully connect it to my bust point. I'm supposed to connect to this part that I think and just try and get it. Okay, this is it. I'll just try and blend it in. Blend this. Okay, so this thing has to be from here, from here, coming by 1.5, go from the shoulder, mark 2 inch, so connect. So this is it. This is it. So watch carefully so that you see the parts that will cut. Don't cut here. So then don't cut this part. So the only important place is this neck, this halter neck. So I'm going to cut it out. The other part is not important, it's not needed. So I'll carefully cut it out. I'll cut my neck. So I'll cut this part. So like I said, the dart is going out. So alright, for the back view, what I'm going to do is first of all, before I start anything, I like getting my starting point, which will direct me. Okay, so this is it. I'll first of all mark out my a horizontal line that will serve as my starting point. Now for the back, the first thing you need to do also is to mark out your zipper allowance. So normally I do use 1 inch for my zipper allowance, but because I'm going to be turning with a lining and all that, so I'll be giving it 1.5 inch zipper allowance. So you mark one. So using my straight ruler, I'm going to connect it into a vertical straight line. So this is it. So this is my zipper allowance. So this is it. So now every other measurement I'm going to be taking will be taken from this zipper allowance. So the first thing I have to do is to get the neck. The neck weight will be same thing with what we did in the front, which is 3. Okay. Then coming down here at this edge, I'm going to take the depth of the neck. This is the back, so the neck is not supposed to be deep, so I'm going to be using 1.5. You can play around 1.5. Anything is okay, but I like using 1.5 for it. I don't want it to be too tight. Okay, so that is it. So using my curve, like we did before, I'm going to curve it. Just try and place here. So I'm going to get my neck curve, okay, like this. Okay, this is it for the back. All right, so every other thing is the same. Placing it here, I'll take my shoulder of 7, then I'll take all horizontal measurements. That's my shoulder to bust 9.5, under bust 13. My full length of the top is 20. Okay, so I'll take it again. So here I'm doing 13. This is not the front part. It's only at the front part that I normally add ½ inch to my under bust. So I'm just returning the main value, which is 13 here. So here also I'll go. This is 9.5. This is my 13, and this is my desired length. So I'll connect. Just like we did, you get your, so everything here is the same thing like we did in the front. I took all my vertical horizontal lines. This is it, from my starting point to my chest line, which is gotten, okay, from my, this is my bust point, this is my under bust, this is my full length. Now to get this, you know what we did, I first of all came down by 1 inch for my slant, just everything in the front view. Then this is my armhole depth, which I got by doing my bust over 6 plus 1.5. So when you do it, my bust is 34. So when I did it, it gave me 7, just like in the front view. So I'll come down by 7 inch, connect it, which will now give me a new line, which is my chest line. So this is it. So following, I will, from here, this is half of my armhole. So I will go in by ½ inch and connect. Just watch the front view. Everything is the same thing. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to take my dart. Yes, I also want the back to have a dart, but not a princess dart or whatever dart, not the kind of dart I had in the front view. So this is just going to be a normal dart for clothes. So I'm going to get my nipple to nipple. Mine is 7, so my nipple to nipple is 7 divided by 2 is giving me 3.5. Okay, I'll mark 3.5 all through. This is it. This is it. This is it. So using my ruler, I'm going to connect it into a very straight line. So you place it and connect. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, from this end, I'm going to go in by ½ inch on both that leg. So I'll go in by ½ inch. I'll mark out ½ inch, sorry, from the dart leg, from the both sides. So I'll connect it to this point here, this point, not the bust point, but rather the chest point. So I'll place my ruler. I'm going to connect. Okay. Okay. So this particular dart, I'm not going to be cutting it out, rather I will sew it in while sewing. So every other thing, placing your ruler here, placing your tape here, you take your boss divided by 2. Mine is 34 divided by 2 give me 8.5. 8 point, I still mark the same thing at the boss point. So here the under boss, my under boss is 29 divided by 4 is giving me 725. So I'll take my 725 here. So at this full length of the top, what I'm doing is my hip divided by 4. My hip is 36 divided by 4 gave me 9. So this is my 9. I've not added any allowance. So I'm going to come here and return this 1 inch dart intake that I will take in. So I'll return it here. This is me returning my dart. Okay, here I have a dart also. This is like 0.75. So I'll just return 0.75 here. This is my 0.75 here. Okay, so that is it. So I'll now go forward to add sewing allowance of 1.5 like we did in the front part. So 1.5, 1.5, 1.5 all through. So I will now connect. I will connect it. Okay, so that's all for the back. Okay, the next thing is to get our halter neck effect like we did in the front. So what you do for me is from this point here that your neck started, go in by 2 like you did in the front part. Go in, you mark it, then coming down here, you remember we did 1.5, so still repeat your 1.5, 1.5. Now connect it using a slanted line. So this is it. We'll connect using a slanted line. This is slanted line. Okay, so we are done. Like I said, we'll not be needing this part, so we are done. So to cut out, please watch closely. This your zipper allowance will be included. So I'll cut. This is it. Okay. All right, please pay close attention to what I'm about to do. Normally, I usually, from this point now, when I'm sewing, I usually remove a top. I usually remove ½ inch from it. So I'm going to remove ½ inch from here and connect it back to this place. So I'm going to connect it back. This is very simple. Watch closely and connect it back. Okay? Yes, this is it. This is to prevent your back being higher, being longer rather than your front part. So this is it. I will join. Hot. So you can see that I didn't cut out my zipper allowance and I did not divide this into 2. I want it to be one piece. So what I'm going to do is while sewing, I'm going to trace this out and take it in by 1 inch. That's just it for it. Okay, so for my neck, please watch closely. I'm not also going to cut out this. This is my zipper allowance. So I'll cut this. Carefully cut my neck. Okay. All right. So I've gone ahead to cut all my patterns. To cut all my patterns and the fabric, yes. So I've cut using my pattern, I've cut it on fabric. So this is what I did. So you can see this is a front part. So I added ½ inch allowance to this shoulder side, then half-inch allowance to this side because I'm going to be turning it. Yes, I'm going to be turning it. For this yoke, I'm going to be using the same material as its lining. So I went ahead to cut it into two pieces. This is the front yoke. So I cut it into two pieces. So same thing here. This is on fold and it is into two pieces. Here, this is the back side. It is not on fold. So I have four pieces here. So two for two for the lining, two for the main fabric for the back. Okay, I also added half-inch here, half-inch and half-inch down here. All right, so this is the front pattern. Yes, the center front. So what I did was to add half-inch all around it, aside from this close edge. And this part also, yes, this is the side front. So it's two. It is not on fold, it's two. So I went ahead also to cut lining for the two sides. So what I did was I added half-inch allowance all through. So the first thing, another thing I did was that if you notice, my lining is a bit shorter than my main fabric. Okay, I have a reason for that. So that my lining will not show after turning or while putting it on. I don't like my lining showing. So what I did was, this is the full length of this. So I went ahead to reduce the lining by 1 inch. 1 inch, yes. I did it here at the center front, the center, yes, and the back also I reduced half-inch. Now watch closely what I'm going to do to this back pattern. You know that the back, yes, the back is a bit slanted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a kind of a dart here, or to remove some part of this zipper allowance. Yes, I've gone ahead to mark everything. I've cut both my main fabric and my lining. So placing this pattern on it, what I'm going to do is to note my bust point. This is my bust point. So I'm going to take out 0.5 inch from it. So this is me marking my 0.5 inch. I'll mark it straight, 0.5 inch, 0.5 inch, 0.5 inch. So this is it. So I'll connect just like a dart. Yes, I'll connect like this, 0.5. Okay, so this is just like a dart, or you can go ahead and cut your own straight like this, but me, I like, after marking 0.5 here, 0.5, I'll just connect it just like a dart. So I'll take it out, I'll cut it out. Yes, I'll cut it out to avoid the zipper bulging at the back. Yes, so your zip will be flat after fixing it. You have to cut out small inches from the given zipper allowance. So this is it. Don't mind my scissors, the thing is a bit blunt, but I'll fix it after this. Okay, so this is it. So you can see what I did here. I removed some inches from it. Okay, also just like I did in the frontal part, I went ahead and reduced the length of this my back by 1 inch. Yes, I marked it and I removed it. So that's all. So the next thing now is to start joining. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to first work on the back first. So this is my back. The first thing I'm going to do is to notch. I'm going to notch my, yes, I'm going to notch this part. That's my dart. So I'm going to sew in my dart. Anything I do on the fabric, I'm going to repeat it. So I've gone ahead to put all my darts in, as you can see. So I'm done working on the back pattern for now. Aside from the yoke, I've not touched the back yoke, but for the front, for the back, yes, the down part, I'm done working on it. So I'll take it out. I've not ironed. I will be doing that later. I like joining all my pieces together before ironing. So this is my back. I'm done with it. So the next thing I'll be working on is the front. Please pay attention, the front part. So the first thing I will do is anything I'm going to be doing on this fabric, that's the same thing I will do on the lining. So I'll be showing you that of the fabric and I'll be joining that of the lining off camera. So this is it. The first thing you need to notch, yes, you need to notch. So I'm going to place it back again and notch. I'm going to place it back, yes, place it back, get it and notch. This is it. Here, my under bust and my bust. So I'm going to notch. So I'll notch it. Come over to my bust area also and notch. Yes, this notch will direct you. So also to this part, I'll also notch my under bust and also notch my bust point. Yes, I'll notch my bust point. Okay, so watch closely so that you see how I'll pin it. All right, I always advise people to always pin. Yes, you see this pin, please don't underrate it. It's very helpful while sewing. Pin it. Pinning your work before sewing will give you an insight of how it is going to look out, how it's going to turn out. So this is it. I'll first open my center. This is my center. So I'll also divide this. It's not on fold. So I'll open it. So what I'm going to do now is this. I'm going to merge these two together like this and pin notch to notch first. So the notch to notch, I'll pin it. Remember I gave it half-inch allowance. So I'm going to be joining it using half-inch, please, half-inch. Pinning. Alright, so this particular part, you can choose to do whatever you like. If you want to cut bustier for it, if you want to cut wording for it, that's to pad it, you can also go ahead. Or if you want to add gum stem to it, you can also go ahead. But for my own, I'm not going to add anything to it. I'm just going to say it directly. So I'm done pinning. So I'll carefully use my pen or your check and mark your half-inch. It is very important to mark so that you're not taking more than the allowance you give, you understand? So you mark, you carefully, yes, you pin it with half-inch and carefully mark. Okay, so I'm going to sew it and come back and show you. Okay, so here I'm done joining one part of it. So I carefully joined with half-inch allowance, like I said. Okay, so I'll go ahead and notch my underbust. Yes, I'll notch my underbust. Carefully notch it. Yes. So when I turn it, this is how it's looking. Okay. So I'll join the other side. I'll join the other side carefully also using my pin. Okay. The allowance that I gave. Okay. I'll carefully mark my half-inch. I've gone ahead to join all my pieces together. So this is the frontal part. The front, I've joined it. So both the main fabric and the lining. So you can see, and I've also ironed it. But I did not iron mine on a flat surface. I ironed on a circular surface, yes, using a ham, yes, tailor's ham. So you can see. So this is the back. I've joined I've joined the dart and ironed it. Okay, so let's work on the yoke. Let's work on the yoke. So this is it. This is the front yoke, which I cut into two. The main fabric and the lining is the same thing. You can choose whichever one you like as the main fabric or the lining. So this one is into four. So what I'm going to do is to open and shear it out. Okay, so this is it. So please watch. The first thing you're going to do is to, this is what you're going to do. I've opened everything, as you can see. So you join it. I'm going to join, this is the back. I'm going to join here at the shoulder using half inch. Also the other side here at the shoulder using half inch. So I'll do the same thing for this one here at the shoulder using half inch, and here at the shoulder using half inch. So I'll go and do it and bring it back to show you. So as you can see, I've joined it at the shoulder with half inch, and also joined this one at the shoulder with half inch. I've not worked on the neck. So one is going to serve as the main fabric while the other one will serve as the lining. So the first thing you have to do is to open it like so. Place it neck to neck, front side to front side. You understand? Okay. So this is it. I'm going to place it front side facing the front side. And first of all, go and join the neck. Yes, I'm going to turn the neck now. That's the first thing I'm going to do. So turn the neck. I'm going to place it and turn the neck. I'll do it and bring it back to show you. So placing it like this, place shoulder to shoulder. Make sure that yours is matching. Match it shoulder to shoulder, you understand. Open the dart while matching it, shoulder to shoulder. Okay, so here I'm done stitching it. I'm done joining the neck, stitch, turning it. Okay, what I'll do is to notch it. Okay, notch it all around. Okay, so that it will relax. Though you don't have lining and main fabric, they are the same thing, but this notching will just make your neck to lap. You can choose to turn and top stitch, which I don't think is necessary because it's the same thing. It's not necessary like that. Yes. So now watch. What I'm going to do is to align this. Please watch the side I'm showing you. Okay. So okay. So I'm going to stitch. Okay, I'm going to mark half inch all round. First of all, I'm going to stitch here, half inch. Okay, here, half inch. So just close it all round with half inch. I'll be showing you the part that will be open. Okay. 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 Let me just spin. So just stitch it round. So I'm going to point out the parts that will be open. So this ending part, this down part will be open. This is the neck. So this down part will be open. This down part also will be open. And this other one will be open because you'll be turning them from any of the open places. So this place needs to be open. This place needs to be open. This place needs to be open. But aside from these three places I just showed you now, go ahead and close all other parts using half inch allowance. All right. Okay, I'll go and do that and bring it back to show you. So I'm done stitching it all around, leaving the parts I told you that will be left open. Okay, I didn't stitch them. So the next thing you have to do before turning now is to notch. Please take your time and notch so that everything will come out looking beautiful and nice. Okay. So I'm going to take my time, okay, and notch. Okay. So you can flip to check if there is any excess that you would like to cut it out. If there is any excess. Okay. Okay. So to turn from this center part, you turn it from this center part. Okay, watch what I'm doing. So trying to turn it. Okay. Okay. So here I'm done turning. So the next thing you have to do is to let me bring out all the edge very well. Okay. Okay. The next thing is to carefully arrange it and give it a hot spice. Yes, iron it very well. So I'll go and iron it. Okay, this is it after ironing. Like I said before, there is no front and there is no back. Yes, so you can choose either side to serve as your front. So for me, I think I like this pattern that is showing here and at the back. So I'm going to be choosing this side as my front. Okay, so you can choose either of the sides. So I'm choosing the that part that I just showed you as my front. Okay, so the next thing is you carefully arrange it. Okay, you carefully arrange it and cut out any excess. Okay, shoulder to shoulder, carefully arrange. This is the point here. Okay, I'll carefully arrange it. Okay, this is the point also. I'll carefully arrange. Okay, this is it, like so. So I'll just carefully trim it out a bit, any excess at all. So I'll get their center. I'll join this together like so, like this, yes, and get the center. Send them to the other part. I'll join it together like this and notch just to get the center. I'll join this part together also and notch. Okay. So now this is the frontal part. This is the front part. Don't know why I'm always calling it frontal. Okay, this is the front part. So what the okay, I don't okay. So you join the middle part together like this, okay, and notch like so. Okay. So this is it. So I'll go forward and bring this. Remember I said this is my front part. So I'll be placing it like this, front to front, whichever side you choose as your front. So place it notch to notch. You know I notch this and I also notch this. Okay. So just go and run just a stitch like this to close it. So I'm going to run a stitch to close this. my lining, right side facing right side, like so, and stitch the upper part with half inch. Okay, so I'll just make this part to align, this joint part to align. Okay, so I'll go and stitch it with half inch all through. I'll stitch it with half inch. Okay, as you can see, I've gone ahead to turn this upper part, and I've also top stitched it. Okay, I've top stitched it. So what I'll do is I will flip it over to the wrong part again. Okay, I'll flip it, carefully flip it. So after flipping it, I'll put this inside. I'll flip it. Okay, this is how I'm going to go about this now. So you can see that the lining is a bit shorter than the main fabric. Yes, while drafting it, I made mention of reducing my lining by 1 inch. Okay, and I told you the reason for that. So the first thing I'm going to do is to grab this edge and merge it with this part, you understand, and run a stress stitch to it. I'll run a stress stitch. Okay, I will do it and I'll come back and show you. Okay, I'm done joining the down part with half inch. So the next thing I'm going to do is to straighten it. Yes, I'm going to make it straight. The edge now, I'm going to join. Okay, this zipper part, just pin it like this. Fold it to go towards the lining part. Yes, just fold it like this, and pin using half inch. Okay, so I'm going to pin because I'm going to join using half inch. I'll pin. Okay, coming to this part, this down part, you can see how the thing is a bit folded. Okay, so allow it. So just carefully fold it towards the lining and hold it. Okay, so this is it. This is also the same thing for the other side. So I'm going to do join this side and also repeat what I did here to the other side and show you. Okay. Okay. So I'm done. So to turn it, you'll be wondering how are we going to turn it from. Okay, to turn it, carefully open one part, either this side or this side. Okay, carefully open any side, either this side or this side. Okay, and turn it. Okay, this is it. Okay, so can you see the effect of reducing 1 inch from the lining? Yes, this is it. So if at all there's no way the lining is going to show, there's no way at all that the lining is going to show when this dress is worn. Okay, so I've not ironed it. When I iron it, you see how beautiful it is going to be looking. Okay, just take my time and turn it very well. Okay, so after, you can now carefully just run a straight stitch here to close the open part. Okay, okay, the next thing is now the back. Just like you did to the front, that's what you do to the back. So I'll carefully bring one part of my bag. This, I'll start with this first. Okay, so I will notch. Okay, this one, no need of notching. It has to align with the ending part of this cloth. Okay, so it has to align. So this is it. I will make it to align like so, like this. This is it. I'll make it to align. I'll pin it. Okay, but before that, you remember we are going to be turning the back using lining. So carefully leave half inch at the edge. Yes, leave half inch at the edge. Okay. For this other side, it's just the same thing. Okay. Yes, just the same thing. Okay. So as you can see, I'm done turning with lining. Okay. So the same way I turned the front, that's the same thing I did to the back. So you remember why drafting this pattern, I gave 1.5 inch as my zipper allowance. But okay, so I'm going to take it out now. I'm going to join it. I'm going to pin this back side where my zip will be, because I'll be fixing my zip last. That will be the last thing I'll be doing. So you can see the effect of removing 1 inch from this. You can see how beautiful this thing is looking. So it will prevent the lining from coming out of the clothes when the clothes is being worn. Okay, so this is it. So the first thing I'll do is to place my back like this. I'll measure my back, make sure that these yoke parts align. You can see how my own align. Once you use your measurements very well, everything will align. So you can see that my two yoke back yoke are aligned together, and this part also aligned, the frontal part, the neck also aligned. So I'm going to pin it. So before that, I'll measure. Remember, so you remember that you gave 1.5 inch allowance while sewing it. So after having turned with lining and everything, okay, you don't still expect it to be the same thing, so it will reduce. So for this upper part, I'm going to mark 125. Yes, I have my reason for that, because I did not really take in much allowance here. So I'm going to mark 1.25, then coming down to this place, starting from where this lining starts from, I'm going to mark 1 inch. Okay, it's very simple, just follow me. Okay, 1 inch, 1 inch. Okay, 1 inch. Let's mark 1 inch all through. 1 inch. Okay, remember I said I'll mark 125 here. Okay, this is 125. Then I'll hold it with my pin. Yes, I'll hold it with my pin. Then I'll open. Okay, so this is it. I'll flip my frontal part, my front part over. Okay, so this is it. Okay, wow, this is already looking beautiful. Okay, okay, so this is it. So don't mind my boss. I didn't put gum stain or anything. I just see it together like that. So I'm going to also hold. Okay. So you remember we left 1.5 inch by the side as our seam allowance. So having turned with lining, you don't expect it to still remain with 1.5, to still remain at 1.5 inch. So what we are going to do is you can check to know what is left for you. Or but me, I've already checked and I'm going to hold my own using 0.75 all through. Yes, I'm going to hold it using 0.75. Yes, 0.75. So I will advise if you're doing your own, you should leave 2 inch allowance. So I don't know why my own reduced. So leave 2 inches allowance so that you'll be left with something. So I'm going to go ahead and use 0.75 by the side to hold it all through down. Okay. Then I will. Okay. So I'm done joining it using the 0.75 type set. Okay. I use 0.75 to join both sides. Okay, so this is it. This is how the inside is looking. Very beautiful, very neat. Okay, so while sewing, make sure that your work is neat. Okay, this is it. Very neat. So the only thing remaining for me is to fix the zipper allowance, which I'm going to do off camera, and later I'll bring it and show you. Both. Okay. And yes, this is the final look of this beautiful top. If this is of value to you, please like, comment, subscribe because more will be coming out from this channel. So I went ahead to use my pattern to create another top for myself using a beautiful fabric also. And that's it for this